The Lost Celtics in Warhammer. To me, one of the saddest factions that has been seemingly forgotten by Games Workshop is Albion. And while Albion is not entirely made up of humans, the primary people that live there are humans, and so I consider the faction to be a mostly human faction. Albion is of course Warhammer Britain, Albion even being the ancient name for Britain, and the lore behind this little island is pretty awesome. When the old ones created the new races of the world, they had little hope in humans, but upon seeing how quickly they adapted, the old ones were impressed and gave some of their secrets to some essentially cavemen of Albion, now known as the Truthsayers. These Truthsayers, or Druids as they are known on their own island, would play a huge role in saving the world from chaos in the Great Catastrophe. When the catastrophe struck, the old ones, as their final gift to their favorite humans, gave them a race of giants to help protect them. And with these giants, the Druids of Albion were able to construct a series of circles, which the Druids used to channel the winds of magic, and bind chaos to the north. These humans' mastery of the winds of magic was at least on par with the elves, and they used it to raise a thick fog to hide their island from chaos. They also stemmed the flow of chaos, saving the elves and buying time for them to raise the vortex, but this came at a cost. Their once luscious island was corrupted by the chaos energy, and it became filled with quagmires and swamps. But it was a price they had to pay for chaos to be contained. Their island remained hidden for many centuries, the main humans of Albion essentially regressing back into cavemen, save the Truthsayers who retained their magical knowledge by teaching only a select few, and the giants who guarded their magical Ogham stones. However, a huge threat to Albion would soon be revealed. Be'lakor, the first damned, wanted to get his body back, so he managed to corrupt some of the Truthsayers, turning them to dark emissaries, who in doing the bidding of their master traveled far from Albion in search of any force that would help them take the Ogham stones from their Truthsayer counterparts. But the Truthsayers found out about this and went to find factions to help protect the stones, so what ended up happening was a total war on Albion, factions from all different races fighting. Dark Elves for magical power to defeat the High Elves to defeat the Dark Elves, the Empire to establish a colony, the Bretonnians to purge the filth, and the Orcs just because they heard it was a good fight. This war in the end barely ended in the favor of the Truthsayers, with the Lizardmen of all people coming out on top and establishing the temple city called Conquata in the center of Albion, and then it vanished. After 6th edition, Albion faded into obscurity as the designers moved in a different direction, leaving the island that had been home to the once legendary Macbeth back in 2nd edition to be forgotten.